I'm back. I didn't do anything for Thanksgiving. Obviously, there's the holiday. We didn't need any more pressure. I find that one of the things that we know for those of us who've had trouble with getting healthy and staying healthy and having some bit of control on our weight and the issues and being more disciplined and having a readjustment of our mind, the way that we think about food, we don't need any more pressure than we already put on ourselves. But one of the dangers that we find if we're not careful is that we allow that issue to actually cause so much stress we can't even enjoy the holiday season or time with family or Christmas. And that's just a part of our lives, and it should not be all-consuming. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint, because we're not just doing a behavior modification, we're trying to change the way, allowing God to change the way we think about food and renewing our mind about our bodies and how to take care of them. So I know I've talked to some of you, and it's been neat to see you're exciting, and some of you have been frustrated. That's totally natural. I've been frustrated in the process, but I will tell you so far, I've actually lost almost 13 pounds, and I've lost almost 10 inches. So that's good, even in the middle of frustration. I'm making headway, but especially because of the way that I'm thinking about food and the way I respond, because I now know what different foods do to me. And I'm going, for the few moments on the lips, I'm not so sure. So don't give up. What happens is we just kind of go, oh, I just don't even want to do it. I've had some of you say, I'm not even going to get on the scales. Please don't let the holiday seasons destroy the work that you've done, because let's face it, after the Thanksgiving and after Christmas, then comes New Year's, and then there's Valentine's Day, or Super Bowl, don't forget Super Bowl, and birthdays, and St. Patty's Day, and Easter, and Mother's Day, and Father's Day, and anniversaries, and vacations. So there's always something that could tank us if we let it. So you have to choose this day, and each day or the after, about armoring up, setting a plan and going, here's the problem, how can I fix this? And then my husband always says, if you want to change the results, you got to change the game plan. So are you willing? Don't give up. You've come too far. And do you really want to go around this one more year, and then another year, and another year? So let's change it. Let's use this holiday season to be one that we feel good about. And now let's talk about another issue. Romans 12:2 is our key verse, and that is, don't conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and then you will know what is the will of God, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Guess what? That's not just about being healthy. That's in our relationships, our finances, our spirituality, our lives, relationships. It's the same truth that we need to use to follow through all our lives. Too often in the busyness of this season and with other seasons of our lives, we find ourselves, quite frankly, not really paying attention to things that are suffering and that are lacking in our lives, that we are missing tremendous joy and blessings. Let me ask you something. The blessings that God has given you, your spouse, your children, do they seem more like burdens? Be careful. He has given them to us as blessings. And quite frankly, sometimes our spouses become a little more than glorified wallets if we're not careful. And ladies, I know there are guys and girls here, but ladies, from a point of view where I have been, let me say something to you just between the two of us. The reality is that we need to be careful. We're so glad that we've got supportive husbands, and we're so grateful. Let me ask you something. How supportive you've been? How uplifting have you been to them? Or we miss a big piece when we are only looking about what concerns us, and that they have to fall in line to what we want. This idea that if mom ain't happy, nobody's happy. Guess what? If that's the way you live your life, you're not going to be happy either. So pour blessings into each other. Recognize the gifts that you have been given that's got nothing to do with money or food. And have a wonderful holiday season. We will see you next year. God bless, and Merry Christmas. And guess what? Make sure you also remember the reason for the season. And it ain't food. See you next year.